10 hidden signs she secretly wants you, but pretends she doesn't. Psychology tricks. Love doesn't need to shout when it's real, you feel it in the quiet. Most attraction doesn't begin with a bold confession. It begins in the space between moments, in timing, in tone, in those tiny behaviors most men brush off as nothing. Here's what many women, especially mature, careful, emotionally intelligent women, tend to do when they're interested. They don't declare it. They measure it, not to play games, more like protecting their heart and protecting their dignity. She's quietly asking herself questions like, is he sharp enough to notice what I'm not saying? Is he steady? Or does he get needy and rush things? Does he lead with calm confidence or with ego? And for men 35 to 70, this matters even more. At this stage of life, attraction usually isn't about dramatic flirting. It's about emotional safety, mutual respect, and a feeling of, this man has presence. So if you've ever sensed, something's there, but she's acting like it isn't, you're not imagining it. Now let's unpack it clearly. 10 hidden signs she secretly wants you while pretending she doesn't. 1. She finds reasons to be near you, without a reason. She doesn't announce her interest. She doesn't make a speech. She simply appears again and again, close enough for you to feel her presence, but subtle enough to deny intention. And that quiet pattern is the first hidden sign she secretly wants you while pretending she doesn't. She finds reasons to be near you without ever calling them reasons. She chooses the chair beside you instead of the many empty ones. She lingers a few seconds longer after a conversation has already ended. She drifts into the same space at work, at events, or in casual gatherings, as if pulled there by coincidence. Yet nothing here is random. Nothing is careless. You must understand this clearly. Proximity shapes emotion. Repetition builds comfort. Comfort opens the door to attraction. That is how the human mind works, especially within female psychology, where closeness feels safer than bold declarations, and presence speaks louder than words. So don't dismiss it. Don't tell yourself it means nothing. Be observant instead. When someone consistently places themselves in your orbit, they are testing emotional gravity. They are seeing how it feels to exist near you without risk. Psychology tricks show us that familiarity lowers resistance while quietly increasing curiosity. That is why she doesn't chase, but aligns. She doesn't ask, but appears. She doesn't confess, but connects through space. This isn't manipulation, it's instinct. It's often how to fall in love begins long before anyone names it, through shared air, shared moments, shared silence. The mind relaxes when something feels familiar, and the heart follows quietly behind. So be calm, be grounded. Don't rush to label or pressure anything. You must allow the closeness to breathe. Acknowledge her presence with warmth, not neediness, with confidence, not assumption. Because when you remain steady, proximity becomes meaningful rather than awkward. And here is the deeper layer most men miss. She is watching how you respond to her nearness, whether you welcome it with ease or tension, whether you acknowledge her without clinging, whether you can hold space without trying to control it. Those responses matter more than clever lines or grand gestures. Psychology tricks only work when they align with authenticity. Within female psychology, safety and emotional steadiness create attraction faster than pressure ever could. So don't overanalyze every movement, but don't ignore the pattern either. Patterns reveal intention. When she keeps choosing proximity, she is quietly inviting connection while protecting herself. Respect that balance. Stay present. Stay attentive. Don't crowd her. Don't retreat. Be consistent. Be kind. Be subtly confident. Because that is how to fall in love unfolds naturally, not through declarations, but through shared presence that slowly begins to feel necessary. Remember this, attraction often whispers before it speaks. It steps closer before it reaches out. And when you learn to recognize this early signal, you stop missing opportunities that were never meant to shout, only to stay close enough to be felt. 2. She asks personal questions, then pulls back. She leans in with curiosity, not with noise. This is the second hidden sign many men overlook because it feels contradictory at first. She asks personal questions, then suddenly pulls back, and you must not misread this moment. When she asks about your past, your values, your relationships, she is opening a quiet door into your inner world, not out of boredom, not out of politeness, but out of genuine interest. Then, right when the conversation starts to feel meaningful, she changes direction, smiles, deflects, or softens the moment with humor. Like when she asks, "What made your last relationship end?" and then quickly laughs and says, "Sorry, that's too deep." That pause, that retreat, that sudden lightness is not rejection. That is caution. That is emotional intelligence at work. Psychology tells us that when someone cares, they don't rush exposure. They test safety first. In that moment, she is measuring how you handle depth without pressure, how you respond when intimacy appears and then gently steps back. So don't chase the question. Don't force the moment. Don't demand more than she offers. Be calm. Be steady. That is exactly how a high-value man behaves. A man who can sit comfortably with emotional tension without trying to fix it instantly sends a powerful signal. That signal helps attract women far more than oversharing or emotional flooding ever could. This is the balance you must hold. When she pulls back, she is protecting herself, not withdrawing from you. If you react with ease instead of disappointment, you show her that your masculine energy is grounded, patient, and emotionally secure. That is deeply appealing, especially to a woman who is slowly deciding whether she can trust you with deeper parts of her story. Don't interpret her shift as mixed signals. Interpret it as pacing. That is what mature connection looks like. One step forward, one pause, one breath. Here's the truth many men miss. She already crossed an internal line by asking the question in the first place. People don't ask personal questions unless they care about the answer. When she laughs it off afterward, she is not erasing the moment. She is bookmarking it for later. She is seeing how you respond now so she can decide whether to return to it again. You must respond with restraint, with warmth, with confidence. Say enough to be real, but not so much that you overwhelm. A high-value man understands timing. Timing is everything when you want to attract women who are thoughtful and emotionally aware. Don't prove yourself. Don't perform vulnerability like a show. Be honest, be measured, be present. That is how masculine energy creates trust without force. Remember this clearly. Emotional depth is not built by diving headfirst. It is built by gradual descent. She is checking whether you respect that process, whether you can hold space without rushing to conclusions, whether you can let silence exist without anxiety. When you pass that test, she feels safer leaning in next time, asking again, going deeper, staying longer. This pattern repeats because attraction grows through consistency, not pressure. If you want to become the kind of man who naturally attracts women, you must stop fearing emotional pauses and start mastering them. Pauses are where trust forms. Trust is where desire lives. When you stay grounded through her curiosity and her retreat, you position yourself as a high-value man without ever saying it out loud. Your masculine energy speaks for you. Calm, steady, inviting. That is exactly what makes her come back with another question, another smile, another step closer, this time without pulling away so quickly. If this message resonated with you, take a moment to support the channel, like this video. Share it with a man who needs clarity instead of confusion. Subscribe for more insights on attraction, confidence, and emotional intelligence. Now here's your positive affirmation, inspired directly by today's lesson. When a woman asks personal questions and then pulls back, it doesn't mean disinterest. It means curiosity mixed with caution. It means emotional investment with self-respect. A grounded man understands timing. He doesn't rush depth. He doesn't chase pauses. He stays calm, present, and confident, knowing that trust grows when space is respected. Comment below to lock this mindset in your memory. I am calm, emotionally secure, and worthy of deep connection. Type it out. Mean it. Let it remind you who you are every time you come back to this video. 3. She remembers small details about you. When a woman remembers the small details about you, pay attention. This is where real interest quietly reveals itself, not in loud gestures, not in obvious signals, but in subtle precision of memory, the kind of memory the human mind reserves only for what it values. This is not romantic fantasy. This is psychology in action. The brain is efficient and selective. It does not waste storage on things that do not matter. So when she recalls your favorite drink without asking, brings up a story you shared months ago when you thought no one was listening, or remembers the name of your dog when even your coworkers forgot it, that is not politeness. That is prioritization. As psychologist William James once said, "My experience is what I agree to attend to." Attention is choice. Choice reveals importance. In modern life, where distractions are endless and attention is fractured, memory becomes even more valuable. Remembering small details requires focus, emotional engagement, and repetition in the mind. That means you have been replayed there more than once. Men between 35 and 70 understand this instinctively because experience teaches you that people reveal themselves not through promises, but through patterns. This is a pattern that speaks clearly. Attraction is rarely announced. It is demonstrated, quietly, consistently, with precision. This is where Old Stoic wisdom becomes useful. Stoicism teaches you to observe reality as it is, not as you wish it to be, not as you fear it to be, but as it unfolds in front of you. The Stoics believed clarity is power. Power comes from understanding signals without emotional distortion. Instead of chasing validation or overanalyzing words, you watch behavior. Memory is behavior. Memory is effort. Memory is investment. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Look well into thyself. There is a source of strength which will always spring up if thou wilt always look." A man with an iron mind does not beg for attention. He recognizes it when it is already given. This is how Stoicism win moments are created, through calm awareness, not reaction, not desperation, not fantasy. In today's world, many men confuse politeness with interest and miss the deeper signs that matter. But you are not here to guess. You are here to see clearly. The advice is simple and strong. When she remembers the small things, do not rush, do not test, do not perform. Remain steady, grounded, self-respecting. Attraction grows safest around a man who is consistent and composed, a man whose presence does not fluctuate with every signal. This composure is magnetic. Modern relationships are chaotic and emotionally noisy. People crave stability more than drama. When you combine emotional awareness with Old Stoic wisdom, you become rare. Rarity creates value. Value creates attraction. Maya Angelou said, "People will never forget how you made them feel." Before feelings come memory. Feelings are anchored in moments. Moments are remembered only when they matter. Your role is not to impress harder, but to live sharper. Speak honestly. Listen fully. Let your life be coherent. Coherence is unforgettable. As you master this mindset, you stop chasing signs and start recognizing patterns. You stop hoping and start knowing. This is how an iron mind is forged. This is how Stoicism win in modern dating and modern life. This is how Old Stoic wisdom turns quiet signals into clear understanding. Confidence without arrogance, patience without passivity, control without force. When you move this way, you do not just understand attraction. You master yourself. And the man who masters himself walks with victory, in relationships, in life, in his own mind. 4. She teases you, but never disrespects you. Here's the truth most men miss when it comes to playful teasing, and you must understand this if you want clarity instead of confusion. When she teases you, but never crosses the line into disrespect, that is not random behavior, and it is definitely not accidental. This is not sarcasm. This is not mockery. This is subtle, intentional, emotionally intelligent testing rooted deeply in female psychology. She might smile and say, "You're too serious, but I kind of like that," and then quickly change the subject. Don't brush that off. Don't overreact. Be calm. Be present. That moment matters more than you think. Teasing like this is her safe way of creating closeness without risking rejection. It allows her to express interest while still protecting herself emotionally. This is one of the most overlooked psychology tricks in attraction because it feels light, almost insignificant, yet it carries weight. She is watching how you respond, not what you say, but how you carry yourself. Do you laugh easily, or do you get defensive? Do you stay grounded, or do you try too hard to impress? That is the test. You must understand this. Confident men don't explain themselves, and they don't seek approval. They smile, they hold eye contact, they stay relaxed. That response tells her you're comfortable in your own skin, and comfort is magnetic. This is how attraction grows without force, and this is how to fall in love without chasing it. Teasing gives her permission to explore emotional chemistry while keeping things playful, and in female psychology, playfulness is a bridge to intimacy. She's not trying to challenge you, she's inviting you into her world in a way that feels safe for both of you. Don't shut it down by becoming too serious. Don't turn it into a debate. Be warm, be steady. Let the moment breathe. That is how trust forms. That is how desire deepens quietly. Psychology tricks like this work because they bypass logic and speak directly to emotion, and emotion is where connection lives. When you respond with ease, you signal emotional maturity, and emotional maturity is far more attractive than clever lines or forced confidence. Remember this: teasing without disrespect means she cares how you feel. She is calibrating closeness. She is seeing whether you can handle intimacy without losing yourself. This is a core principle of female psychology, and ignoring it means missing the signal entirely. If you want to understand how to fall in love naturally, you must stop looking for dramatic signs and start paying attention to gentle ones. This kind of teasing is gentle, it's light, it's intentional, and it's powerful. Don't chase, don't perform. Be present, be amused, be grounded. That response doesn't just pass the test, it makes her feel safe enough to want more. And if this hit home, don't scroll past it. Take action right now. Drop a comment that says, "I stay calm, I stay confident, I let attraction come to me." That sentence alone puts you in control of the moment. Like this video, subscribe for more real-world psychology tricks, and remind yourself daily, playful teasing isn't a challenge, it's an invitation. When you understand female psychology, you stop guessing and start leading. That's how to fall in love the right way. 5. Her body listens before her words do. Here's a truth you must not ignore. Sometimes her body listens before her words ever do. She may calmly say she's not looking for anything, and on the surface that sounds final, controlled, and reasonable. But don't stop there. Don't argue with her words and don't try to convince her otherwise. Be observant instead. That is where real understanding begins. Because while words are filtered through caution and past experience, the body responds in real time. It reacts before logic steps in. You must learn to read that language if you want clarity instead of mixed signals, especially if your goal is to grow into a high-value man who knows how to attract women without chasing or forcing anything. Watch the small things. They are never small. Her feet point towards you even when others are in the room. That is orientation. That is interest. She leans in when you speak, closing distance without realizing it. That is engagement. She mirrors your posture, crossing her legs when you do, tilting her head the same way, matching your rhythm. That is subconscious alignment. She holds eye contact just a second longer than necessary, not staring, not dramatic, just enough to create a quiet tension. That is connection. Don't dismiss these signals. Don't overanalyze them either. Be calm, be grounded, be present. A man who understands body language doesn't rush, he notices. This awareness is part of masculine energy, steady, quiet, unforced. And masculine energy, when authentic, is one of the most reliable ways to attract women. Here's the psychology you must understand. The body reacts faster than the mind can censor. Before she decides what she should say, her nervous system has already responded to how she feels around you. Comfort shows up physically. Curiosity does too. Safety, interest, and attraction often leak through posture and movement long before they are allowed to exist in words. That doesn't mean she's lying. It means she's processing, and you must respect that process. Don't call it out. Don't tease her about it. Don't push for definitions. Be steady. Let the moment breathe. That patience signals confidence, and confidence is a defining trait of a high-value man. This is where many men lose their edge. They hear, "I'm not looking for anything," and they either retreat completely or try to negotiate attraction with logic. Don't do either. Don't retreat if her body is moving closer. Don't persuade if her eyes are already locked in. Be consistent. Be self-contained. Be clear in your presence without demanding clarity from her. That balance strengthens your masculine energy, and masculine energy thrives on certainty without pressure. When you operate this way, you naturally attract women because you're not reacting, you're responding. Understand this deeply. Attraction is rarely a verbal decision at first. It's a physical response that gets interpreted later. When you align your behavior with what her body is showing you, rather than what her words are temporarily protecting, you stay ahead of confusion. You become the man who doesn't need reassurance. You become the man who trusts his awareness. That trust is powerful. That is how a high-value man moves through interactions with calm authority. Not control, not force, just quiet certainty. So don't chase statements. Don't fear mixed messages. Be observant. Be composed. Be anchored in who you are. When you learn to read the body, you stop guessing. When you stop guessing, you attract women naturally. And when your masculine energy is steady and intentional, connection doesn't need to be rushed, it unfolds on its own, exactly when it's ready. 6. She opens up emotionally, selectively. When a woman opens up emotionally, selectively, you are witnessing one of the clearest signals of genuine interest. This is where experienced men separate fantasy from reality. She may not tell you everything, but she chooses you for specific truths, measured confessions, carefully revealed fears, disappointments, or moments of doubt she does not share with everyone. Psychology is firm on this point. Emotional vulnerability is never random. It is a trust signal. And trust always comes before attraction, like a scout clearing the path. When she lets you see behind the curtain even briefly, she is testing safety, stability, and depth, not entertainment, not surface charm, not noise. In modern life, where attention is cheap and oversharing is everywhere, restraint has become intimacy. Selective openness is her way of saying you matter without saying it out loud. Carl Jung captured this perfectly. The meeting of two personalities is like the contact of two chemical substances. If there is any reaction, both are transformed. When she allows emotional access, she is already engaging in that transformation, quietly, deliberately, watching how you handle it. Your response matters more than your words. This is where Old Stoic wisdom becomes your advantage. The man who listens without rushing. The man who stays grounded without trying to fix. The man who remains calm without minimizing her feelings. He signals strength without display. Calm presence creates safety. Safety deepens attraction. Here are the instructions. Do not interrogate. Do not interrupt. Do not perform empathy. Hold space. Stay steady. Let silence work for you. Silence, used correctly, communicates confidence and reliability better than any clever sentence. Marcus Aurelius said it clearly. Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself. Your discipline is internal, not imposed. Apply this and you cultivate an iron mind. An iron mind does not flinch when emotions appear. An iron mind stays centered. And this is how attraction grows without effort. In a world where many men overreact, overshare, or overexplain, you win by remaining composed. You win by listening. You win by not needing validation. This is Stoicism win in real life. Not theory, not philosophy on a shelf, but daily mastery in action. Emotional openness is fragile. Mishandle it, and doors close quietly forever. Handle it with restraint, and doors open slowly but deeply. Ernest Hemingway said, "The best way to find out if you can trust somebody is to trust them." She is doing exactly that in small doses. Each dose is a test. Each test is an opportunity. Your role is not to impress. Your role is to remain unshaken. When she sees you can carry emotional weight without collapsing or boasting, attraction strengthens naturally. Here is the modern reality. Relationships today fail, not from lack of interest, but from lack of emotional leadership. Emotional leadership is quiet, composed, consistent. When she shares selectively, you receive selectively. You respond thoughtfully. You keep your edge. You do not rush outcomes. Patience is power. Restraint is confidence. Clarity beats chaos every time. Practice Old Stoic wisdom daily. Build an iron mind daily. Apply Stoicism WIN daily. When you do, you stop guessing. You stop chasing signs. You start recognizing patterns. Trust comes before attraction. Attraction grows in safety, and safety lives in the man who knows exactly who he is and never needs to prove it. 7. She tests your availability. She tests your availability in ways so subtle you might miss them if you blink. And that's exactly the point. She's not really asking about your schedule. She's reading your life. She's watching how you respond, not just to her, but to the world around you. She notices whether your time has shape and meaning or whether it spills everywhere without intention. So when she casually asks, "Are you always this busy?" or "Do you ever make time for yourself?" don't assume it's small talk. It isn't. It's a quiet scan rooted deeply in female psychology. She's checking whether you live with balance, whether you honor your priorities, whether you respect yourself enough to protect your time. That matters more than charm ever could. Attraction doesn't grow in chaos. It grows where there is structure and calm confidence. Don't rush to explain yourself. Don't apologize for having a life. Don't perform availability like it's a favor. Be grounded. Be honest. Be steady. That is what registers. Because when it comes to how to fall in love, especially at this stage of life, consistency beats intensity every time. She's checking if you can offer that without losing yourself, if you can make space without surrendering direction, if your life already works before she steps into it. This is one of those psychology tricks that doesn't feel like a trick at all. It's less about manipulation and more about observation. When you answer with calm clarity, "I stay busy with things I care about, but I always make time for what matters," you signal something powerful without ever saying it directly. You show boundaries without walls, interest without neediness, presence without pressure. That lands deeply in female psychology. It tells her you're not waiting to be filled. You're already full. You invite rather than chase. Don't underestimate how reassuring that is, especially for a woman who values emotional safety as much as attraction. Be mindful. Be intentional. Be selective with your energy. Every response teaches her how you live and whether she can imagine herself fitting into that rhythm. Psychology tricks only work when they align with truth. So don't pretend to be busy. Don't fake independence. Don't play games with time. You must live in a way that feels solid to you first, because authenticity is what makes how to fall in love feel natural, not forced. When she sees that you choose your moments instead of being dragged by them, she sees a man who knows himself. And in female psychology, that quiet self-knowledge is often the most attractive signal of all. A signal that says you're not available to everyone, but you are available to the right connection. And that balance is exactly what she's been looking for, whether she admits it or not. If this opened your eyes, like the video, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs clarity, not confusion. Now let's interact. Comment this to lock the lesson in your mind. Real attraction respects balance, boundaries, and self-worth. Drop that sentence in the comments and let us know you don't chase attention, you choose yourself. 8. She gets slightly jealous, then hides it. She gets slightly jealous, then hides it, and this is where things become interesting, because she won't accuse you and she won't confront you, but she will notice everything, every laugh, every glance, every shift in energy. When another woman laughs with you, maybe a little too warmly, she doesn't interrupt or make a scene. Instead, she grows quieter, more reserved, a touch distant. That change is not random, that is information. Jealousy doesn't appear out of nowhere. It shows up only when emotional investment already exists. That is a core truth many men overlook. Don't dismiss it. Don't rush to fix it. Be observant. Be calm. You must understand that when a woman feels something worth protecting, she becomes alert, not aggressive. This is not insecurity. This is awareness. And for a high-value man, awareness is something to respect, not exploit. What's really happening here is subtle. She's asking herself a silent question. Where do I stand with him? She's measuring her emotional position without asking for reassurance. That restraint matters. It shows maturity. It shows control. And it shows that she sees you as someone who can attract women without trying too hard. That alone activates attraction. Don't perform loyalty. Don't over-explain harmless moments. Be steady. Be consistent. Let your behavior speak. Masculine energy is calm, not reactive. It doesn't panic when tested. It doesn't seek approval. It stays centered. When you remain relaxed and respectful in these moments, you amplify that energy. You become the man who doesn't chase attention but naturally draws it. That is how you attract women without ever needing to announce it. This kind of hidden jealousy is one of the clearest signs that attraction is already rooted. She wouldn't care otherwise. She wouldn't adjust her behavior if you were just another option. That emotional shift is proof of investment. But here's the key. Don't use it as leverage. Don't try to spark jealousy on purpose. That backfires over time. A high-value man doesn't create tension to feel important. He creates safety while remaining desirable. You must walk that line with intention. Be warm but not needy. Be engaged but not over-available. That balance reinforces masculine energy in a way words never could. It tells her you have options, but you also have standards. And here's the deeper layer most men miss. When she hides her jealousy, she's protecting her dignity. She's saying, without saying it, I feel something, but I won't lose myself over it. That deserves respect. So don't tease her about it. Don't corner her into admitting it. Let it exist quietly. Your consistency will do more than confrontation ever could. When she sees that you don't play games with attention, that you don't need validation from every room you enter, she relaxes. Trust grows. Attraction deepens. That is how you attract women in a way that lasts. Not through pressure, not through performance, but through grounded presence. Be that man. Stay composed. Lead with calm certainty. That is what keeps her interested, even when she pretends she isn't. 9. She creates almost moments. Here is the truth seasoned men eventually learn. When she creates almost moments, she is not confused. She is deliberate. Long conversations that stretch late into the night but end without plans. Goodbyes that linger longer than they should. Silences charged with tension. Eye contact held one beat too long, then pulled back. None of this is accidental. Psychologically, she is waiting for you to lead without putting herself at risk of rejection. This is not a game. It is a test. A test of leadership in modern life where signals are subtle and decisiveness is rare. Mark Twain said it best. The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Clarity does not come from endless analysis. Clarity comes from action. When you recognize these almost moments, understand this. Attraction often hides behind restraint, especially in a world where people are guarded, cautious, and afraid of embarrassment. This is where Old Stoic wisdom matters. Stoicism Win is not about forcing outcomes. It is about calm, intentional movement forward. An iron mind sees tension not as pressure, but as permission. Permission to step up. Permission to say something simple and direct, like, let's continue this over dinner, instead of letting another night dissolve into nothing. Attraction that goes nowhere fades. Always. Men who hesitate quietly teach others how to treat them. Men who act teach the world what they expect. Theodore Roosevelt said, in any moment of decision, the best thing you can do is the right thing. The next best thing is the wrong thing. And the worst thing is nothing. Doing nothing turns chemistry into confusion. Confusion kills momentum. In modern life, whether you are dating after divorce, navigating apps, or reconnecting with someone from your past, treat these moments as invitations, not traps. Breathe, stand tall, speak clearly, lead with respect and certainty. Leadership today is rare, and rarity creates value. When you do this consistently, you return to old Stoic wisdom. You let Stoicism win again. You sharpen the iron mind. You stop guessing and start shaping outcomes. This is how a man masters his emotional life. Not by waiting, not by hoping, but by recognizing the moment and stepping into it without apology. 10. She respects you even when she pretends not to care. She respects you even when she acts like nothing touches her, and that quiet respect is the deepest signal of all, the one most men overlook because it doesn't shout or flirt or demand attention. It simply shows up in subtle, consistent ways that matter. She values your opinion, not by praising you loudly, but by actually pausing when you speak, by remembering what you said last week, by circling back to your ideas as if they carry weight, because to her, they do. Watch how she listens. Not the polite nod, but the focused attention. That is respect. Notice how she adjusts her behavior around you. Maybe her tone softens. Maybe she chooses her words more carefully. Maybe she considers your schedule, your boundaries, your comfort. Because respect in female psychology often appears as consideration long before it becomes desire. Don't dismiss this. Don't assume attraction must look dramatic. Be clear about this truth. Attraction without respect burns out fast, but respect is the soil where desire quietly grows roots. Psychology tricks won't help you if she doesn't respect you, but if she does, even the smallest spark can turn into something real. This is how to fall in love the grown-up way, not through games, but through presence. When a woman respects you, she trusts your judgment, even if she challenges you. She may tease you, she may act indifferent, but underneath, she's watching how you handle yourself, because female psychology is wired to test for steadiness, not perfection. Be calm, be consistent. That is attractive. You must understand this. Respect doesn't mean she agrees with everything you say. It means she believes you stand on something solid, and that belief creates safety, and safety opens the door to desire. Many men chase signals like quick replies or playful touches, but miss this deeper cue because it feels quiet. Don't make that mistake. Pay attention to how she treats your time, how she reacts when you set a boundary, how she responds when you lead without forcing. That is where psychology tricks meet truth. When respect is present, desire doesn't need to be rushed. It unfolds, slowly, naturally. This is how to fall in love without losing yourself. Remember, female psychology rewards men who don't beg for attention, but earn regard through clarity and self-respect. Be grounded, be intentional, don't over-explain. Let your actions speak. Because when a woman respects you, she's already halfway there, even if she pretends she doesn't care, even if she hides it behind jokes or distance, because respect is the one sign she can't fake forever. And it's the one sign that turns psychology tricks into genuine connection, again and again, when you truly understand how to fall in love. Hey, my friend, thanks for staying with me till the end. Here's the simple truth you should remember. Attraction is never loud or rushed. It shows up in layers, in small moments, in what she does more than what she says. If you recognize several of these signs, don't panic, don't push, and don't try to explain yourself too much. That's where many men lose their strength. My sincere advice to you is this: stay calm, stay grounded, and stay observant. Lead with confidence, not pressure. A woman who pretends she doesn't want you is often just trying to feel safe enough to admit she does. When you give her that emotional safety, things unfold naturally. If this video resonated with you, take a moment to like, comment, and subscribe. Share your experience below. Have you noticed these signs before? Your story might be exactly what another man needs to finally understand what he's been missing. And always remember, a man who understands psychology doesn't chase signals, he recognizes them.